Dear Headmasters, welcome. My name is Madison. Before I start my speech, I'd like to invite you to choose one picture you believe is the most beautiful one. Do me a favor, okay? Good. Now, did everybody got your answer? Perfect. I assume that our answers can be very much different. Now, if you are waiting for me to tell you the correct one, I have to say I'm sorry, I don't have one. Instead of focusing on competing and comparing, I like to draw your attention to the process of making that decision. How did we make that decision? The answer is we made that choice based on our aesthetic value. Now you may ask, aesthetic value, is that important? Does it matter to education in school? Here is an example that might give us a clue. A teenage girl died in 2019 in a beauty surgery. Horrible, isn't it? And the only reason she chose to do that because she was told she was not beautiful enough. So she tries to meet the standards, the aesthetic standards that the society give it to her. And that's what happened to her. I know this is kind of like an extreme example, but it did show us if one do not have strong, correct aesthetic value, he or she can be easily influenced by his surroundings and made wrong decision. Plato once said, before children are taught to distinguish between truth or good, children must be taught to experience beauty. Beauty is important. Aesthetic is very important, and that is something what we're going to talk about today. Here comes the following question. How can we, as educators, help students to build their correct aesthetic value? The answer is through arts. Aesthetic is the philosophy of arts and also an intrinsic value of arts. It's not limited to one art form. All art forms can teach us how to appreciate the beauty and how to develop a sense of aesthetic. I'm not saying arts is the only way to achieve that goal. I am encouraging you to take a look at the important, the precious aesthetic value in arts. However, before that, I need to take you with me to take a step back and look at what happened in our school right now. I worked with quite a lot of schools in China, and these pictures I found online that I believe can represent the real situation now. As you can see from the pictures, most of the arts activities in school are skill-based and also competitive. We value, appreciate, honor students' artistic skills more than anything else in arts education. Is that right? First, it is not fair. According to the Ministry of Education in China, only 10 of the students will pursue a professional arts pathway after they leave high school. And they are those who truly need professional artistic skills. For the rest 90% students, is it fair to apply those standards on them as well? Biesta once argued, and I quote, under this situation, only few could win and many will lose. And even for those students who will pursue arts after high school, without our aesthetic joy in arts, they might feel low motivated. Tell me, what will people do if they feel low motivated? They might quit, right? Isn't it a pity that after all the efforts we made for those students, they gave up eventually? Another point is, even students have professional artistic skills. Without aesthetic sensibility, they may not able to create world-class arts creation. So this is not fair, right? And this is not only unfair, this is wrong. Skill-centered arts education is wrong. Eisner, in 2004, illustrated the value of arts as follows. First, the arts teach students to respond and make judgment without rigorous rules. 2, the arts can cultivate the thinking mood and feelings in students. 3, the arts secure our curiosity, satisfaction in learning. All those things cannot be assessed in a skilled-based way, in a right or wrong, good or bad way. If we do that, it's like putting arts in a right angle box to measure it. So now, I highly recommend you to apply aesthetic integrated arts education in your school. Since 1949, the goal of Chinese education is to foster well-rounded person, well-rounded students. And this approach can help you achieve that goal. First, it can help students to learn and produce arts better. Second, it can help students to develop their intelligence, both cognition intelligence and emotional intelligence. 3, it can help students to develop the human side of them, which is very much important in this consuming society. Now I'll give you an example. I know results are very important in school, and parents are expecting we give them the results. Look at this picture. This is the picture from the book called Beauty and Education. Professor Winston gives us an example of a painting which is judged by a group of specialist arts education as good enough for a 16 years old working towards a GCSE qualification. However, it was painted by a 10-year-old girl without outstanding talent in arts. And the reason why she can paint this well is because she immersed herself in arts, in the beauty of the nature. It all comes out after her trip to the countryside. Not only aesthetic integrated arts education can help students to produce better arts creations, it can also help students with their moral feelings, with their physical and mental health. So now, I like to finish my speech with a quote from Richmond. To be untouched aesthetically by arts, and much less in the world, is a terrible deprivation. So I highly encourage you to use this kind of approach in your school to make all the students are treated equally and to make sure students have better results in arts education. Thank you.